Today, we will learn multiplication of fractions and whole numbers, the use of fraction as an operator of. Nisha makes good tea. To make 1 cup of tea, she adds 2/3 teaspoons of sugar. How much sugar do you think she will need to make 5 cups of tea? Come on, think about it. In such situations, it becomes necessary to multiply fractions. Here, we need to multiply a whole number and a fraction. So let's learn how to do this. Nisha uses 2/3 teaspoon of sugar for each cup of tea. This is a fraction. In this fraction, the numerator 2 is smaller than the denominator 3. Such a fraction is called a proper fraction. We have to find out how much sugar will be required for 5 cups of tea. 2/3 teaspoon of sugar is required for 1 cup of tea, then 5 cups of tea will require 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3. Here, we can see that 2/3 has been added 5 times. This can also be expressed in multiplication as 5 multiplied by 2/3. This way, 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 is equal to 5 multiplied by 2/3. Now what do we observe here? The denominator of all the fractions are equal. Fractions that have the same denominator are called like fractions. What do you call fractions that do not have the same denominator, such as 3/4, 2/3, 6/7, etc.? You're right. Such fractions are called unlike fractions. Here, we are adding like fractions. To add like fractions, we add the numerators and keep the denominator the same. Thus, by adding 2/3 5 times, we will get 10/3. Hence, the result of 5 multiplied by 2/3 is 10/3, which means that Nisha will need 10/3 teaspoons of sugar to make 5 cups of tea. So, we can say that when we multiply a whole number and a fraction, we multiply the whole number by the numerator of the fraction. The denominator remains the same. Here, the numerator 10 is greater than the denominator 3. Such a fraction is called an improper fraction. In 10/3, 3 is a whole number and 1/3 is part of a whole number. So, we can express 10/3 as 3 and 1/3. A fraction that is expressed as a combination of a whole number and a proper fraction is called a mixed fraction. If we have to multiply a mixed fraction by a whole number, how will we do it? Think about it. Let me explain it for you. For this, we will have to first convert the mixed fraction into an improper fraction and then multiply its numerator by the whole number and keep the denominator the same. Fractions are also used in the form of the operator of. Let us understand this. There are 6 bananas here. Can you guess what will be 2/3 part of these 6 bananas? Think a bit. Okay, let me tell you. Here, we first have to divide 6 bananas into 3 groups and take out 2 of these 3 groups. Hence, we can say that 2/3 part of 6 bananas is 4 bananas. We can also express this as multiplication. 2/3 part of 6 bananas is equal to 2/3 multiplied by 6. One way to solve that is that first we can multiply the numerator 2 by 6 and then divide the result 12 by 3. This would give us the result 4. We can also solve this using another method. First, we divide 6 by the denominator 3 and then multiply the result 2 to the numerator 2. This also results in 4. Thus, fractions are used in the form of operator of. Today, we have learnt multiplication of fractions and whole numbers and the use of fraction as an operator of. In the next video, we will learn about multiplication of 2 fractions. Today, we will learn multiplication of fractions. We learned about multiplication of fractions and whole numbers and use of fractions as an operator of. Based on this, we will now learn how to multiply two fractions. Suppose we have to find out how much is half of 4 by 5. Let us find out. Here, the fraction 4 by 5 represents 4 parts out of 5 equal parts of a whole. To find half of it, we will create two groups of these 4 shaded parts and take one group out of them. This group represents half of 4 by 5. If we observe, this part is made up of 2 parts out of all the 5 parts of the whole number. Hence, it can be expressed as 2/5. Therefore, we can say that half of 4 by 5 is equal to 2 by 5. We can also find this by multiplying half and 4 by 5. We shaded 4 of the 5 parts of a square and denoted the fraction 4 by 5. Similarly, we will represent half in the same way. If we place them one above the other, the common shaded portion of both will be the result of their multiplication. As you can see, there are a total of 10 parts out of which 4 are common shaded parts. So this part is 4/10 of the full square. If we transform these 10 equal parts into 5 equal parts, there are 2 common shaded parts out of the 5 equal parts. Hence, we can write 2 by 5 instead of 4 by 10. Thus, we can say that half of 4 by 5 is half into 4 by 5, which is equal to 2 by 5, or the half of 4 by 5 is the same as 2 by 5. To multiply two fractions in mathematics, we multiply the numerators and denominators separately and express the result as the product of the numerators divided by the product of the denominators. For example, 4/5 into half is equal to 4 into 1 divided by 5 into 2, which is equal to 4 by 10, which is also 2 by 5. Therefore, whenever a fraction is used as an operator of, we should perform the operation multiplication. Today, we learn multiplication of fractions. In the next video, we will understand this multiplication more clearly using examples. Today, we will see some examples related to multiplication of fractions. Example 1. If Meena cuts 2/3 of a ribbon which measures 9/10 meter, then how long is the ribbon that she has cut? To know the length of the ribbon cut by Meena, we have to calculate 2/3 of 9/10 of a meter. Suppose we have a ribbon with length as 1 meter. If we divide it into 10 equal parts, then 9 parts out of 10 of this ribbon can be expressed as 9 by 10 meters. We have to find out 2/3 of this, so we will make 3 equal parts out of these 9 parts and take 2 of the 3 parts. As you can see, Meena has taken 6 parts out of the total 10 parts of the meter. Therefore, we can say that the ribbon taken by her is 6/10 meters long. It can be expressed in simpler form such as 3/5 of a meter. In mathematics, we solve this by using multiplication. In this example, to get 2/3 of 9/10, we will multiply 2/3 by 9/10. Here, we can multiply the numerators and denominators separately. But if we look carefully, 9 can be divided by 3. Similarly, 10 can be divided by 2. By dividing in this way, we will get the length of the ribbon as 3/5 of a meter. Next example. 1.5 liters of milk was kept in a large vessel. If Harish drinks 1/4 part of it, then tell me how much milk did he drink? Harish drank 1/4 part of 1.5 liters of milk. We can find the amount of milk he drank by multiplying 1/4 and 1.5. To solve this, first, we will express the mixed fraction 1½ as an improper fraction. For this, we will multiply denominator 2 by the whole number 1 and add the result 2 to the numerator. By this, we will get the numerator of the improper fraction as 3. Then, we keep the denominator as 2, so the improper fraction of 1½ will be 3/2. Now let's find out what will be the product of 1/4 and 3/2. In the previous video, we learned that in order to multiply two fractions, we multiply their numerators and their denominators separately and write the result as the product of the numerators divided by the product of the denominators. So, numerators 1 into 3 is equal to 3 and denominators 4 into 2 is equal to 8. 1/4 into 3/2 is equal to 3/8. Hence, we can say that Harish drank 3/8 of a liter of milk. Today, we saw some examples related to multiplication of fractions. In the next video, we will see some misconceptions and some common mistakes related to multiplication of fractions. Today, we will learn about some common misconceptions and mistakes related to multiplication of fractions. Misconception 1. Which of the following statements represents the shaded part of the given picture as a multiplication statement? Children often try to learn multiplication of fractions by rote. They're unable to understand its concept. This is why the shaded portion of the given picture is expressed incorrectly as multiplication, as some children think that there are 4 shaded parts in each rectangle, so the shaded portion of 3 rectangles can be detected by this multiplication 3 into 4. So they would choose option 1 as the correct answer. However, this is wrong. The correct understanding is that 4/6 part is repeated 3 times. Therefore, while multiplying, we will write 3 into 4/6. Hence, the correct answer is option 2. It is important to note that there are 3 complete figures for each of which 4/6 part has been taken. Therefore, we can also express it as 4/6 into 3. Misconception 2. Nisha bought 3/4 kg potatoes. Out of this, she used 3/5 portion to cook vegetables. Find out how many kgs of potatoes have been used. Here, Nisha has used 3/5 of 3/4 kg of potatoes to cook. To find out how many kgs of potatoes have been used, we have to find out how much is 3/5 of 3/4 kg. For this, we have to find the product 3/5 into 3/4. For this, we multiply the numerators and get the numerator of the result as 9. Similarly, we multiply denominators and get the denominator of the result as 20. Therefore, the correct result is 9/20 kg. That is, option 2 is the correct answer to the question. Some children are unable to understand the question given. They believe that in order to find out how many kilos of potatoes did Nisha cook, they have to subtract 3/5 from 3/4. As a result, they get the wrong answer. Now let us look at some common mistakes made during multiplication of fractions. When children are asked to find the product of any 2 fractions such as 2/3 and 3/4, some children multiply the numerator of the first fraction by the denominator of the second fraction and the numerator of the second fraction by the denominator of the first fraction. Then they add them. This is wrong. The correct method is that the numerator of the result is the product of the numerators of the given fractions and the denominator of the result is the product of the denominators of the given fractions. Therefore, the correct answer is 6/12, which can also be expressed in its simplest form as 1/2. Some children use fractions incorrectly as operator of. For example, if they're asked what will be 2/3 of 6, Then they try to subtract 2/3 from 6. This is a misconception. It is important to understand that whenever we use the operator of, it means we have to multiply. Hence, here we do 2 by 3 into 6, which will result in 4. If the denominators of the two fractions are not equal during multiplication, then some children try to make them equal. This is a misconception. To multiply two fractions, the numerators and the denominators are separately multiplied and written in place of the numerator and the denominator of the result. Today, we've learned some common misconceptions and mistakes related to multiplication of fractions. Today, we will learn division of fractions. Suppose you have 6 chocolates. If you had to make groups of 2 chocolates, then how many groups would you be able to make? Go on, think about it. If you want to make groups of 2 chocolates, then you can make 6 divided by 2. So 3 groups can be made. Now, using the same 6 chocolates, if you have to make a group of half chocolates, then how many groups will you be able to make? To find this, you must divide 6 by half. Here, we have to divide a whole number by a fraction. As you can see, to make a group of half chocolates, we have to divide each chocolate into 2 equal portions. Therefore, by making 2 equal portions of 6 chocolates, we get 6 into 2, that is 12 parts. We can say that 6 divided by half is equal to 6 into 2, which is equal to 12. Here, 2 and half are reciprocals of each other. If the product of any two numbers is 1, then such numbers are called reciprocals of each other. Similarly, 5 and 1 by 5 are reciprocals. Can you tell whether 4 by 7 and 7 by 4 are reciprocals or not? Think about it. Their product is 1, so they too are reciprocals of each other. By understanding reciprocals, we can divide fractions easily. In this way, when dividing a whole number by a fraction, we write the same number as the whole number and multiply it by the reciprocal of the other number. So let's look at some more situations related to the division of fractions. Suppose this bottle contains 3/4 liter juice. If it has to be divided equally among 6 children, then how much juice will each child get? To find this, we have to divide 3 by 4 by 6. Here, we are dividing a fraction by a whole number. Let's find the result. Suppose we consider this strip to be a whole number. The bottle contains 3/4 liter juice. To represent it, we will make 4 equal parts of the strip. On the number line, the first part will be expressed as 1 by 4. The second will be expressed as 2 by 4. The third will be expressed as 3 by 4 and the fourth as 4 by 4. That is 1. 3 of these 4 parts are taken. So, we will shade the 3 parts. These 3 shaded parts express the fraction 3 by 4. Since 3 by 4 liter of juice is to be divided equally among 6 children, we have to make 6 equal parts of the shaded portion. Think about how we'll do this. Let me tell you. For this, we have to divide each part into 2 equal parts so that the shaded part is divided into 6 equal parts. Here, we have a total of 8 parts. Now let's represent it on the number line. As you can see, upon dividing the shaded part into 6 equal parts, we get each part as 1/8. So each child gets 1/8 of a liter of juice. Therefore, 3 by 4 divided by 6 is 1 by 8. To solve 3 by 4 divided by 6 in mathematics, we first write the number 3 by 4 as it is. Then multiply it by the reciprocal of 6, that is 1 by 6. The result we get is 1 by 8. 3/4 divided by 6 is equal to 3 by 4 into 1 by 6, which is equal to 1 by 8. So, each child will get 1/8 liter of juice. So keep in mind that division by a number means multiplying it by its reciprocal. Now suppose we have 2.5 meter long ribbon. If we want to cut it into pieces measuring 3/4 meter each, then how many parts will we be able to make? Think a little. Yes, you are right. Here too, we have to divide 2.5 meters by 3/4. Notice that 2.5 is a mixed fraction. In division of fractions, we have to first convert mixed fractions into improper fractions. For example, here we will write 2.5 as 5 by 2. So now the division will become 5 by 2 divided by 3 by 4. So how will we solve this? Think a little bit. You are right. We will keep the first fraction as it is, then we will change the division sign to multiplication sign, and then write the other fraction as the reciprocal. That means 5 by 2 divided by 3 by 4 is equal to 5 by 2 into 4 by 3, which is 10 by 3. That is, from a 2.5 meters long ribbon, we will be able to make 10 by 3 pieces, each measuring 3/4 meter of a ribbon. We can say that in division of fractions also, we keep the first fraction as it is and then we multiply it with the reciprocal of the second fraction. So today, we learned the division of fractions. In the next video, we will see some more examples based on it. Today, we will see some examples related to division of fractions. If we want to make 14 equal parts of 7 by 10, then what will be the measurement of each part? Come, let's solve it. We have to make 14 parts of 7 by 10 and find the measurement of each part. So let's first make 10 equal parts of a strip and shade 7 of these. The shaded part denotes the fraction 7 by 10. Now can you guess how we will make 14 parts of the shaded part? Go on, give it some thought. If we make 2 equal parts of each part, then we will have 14 equal parts of the 7 by 10 shaded region. As you can see, here one part is one of all 20 parts of the complete strip, which we denote by the fraction 1 by 20. Therefore, the measurement of each part will be 1 by 20. Let's solve this mathematically. To find the measurement of each part, we have to divide 7 by 10 by 14. To solve this, we will keep the first fraction exactly the same and multiply it by the second number's reciprocal. Here, the reciprocal of 14 is 1 by 14. Therefore, if we want to make 14 parts of 7 by 10 parts, then the measurement of each will be 1 by 20. Next example. The doctor has given 12 pills to Nisha and has asked her to take 3/4 of one tablet every day. Find out how many days will Nisha take to finish all the pills. The doctor has given 12 pills to Nisha. Suppose each of these circles is a pill. Nisha consumes 3/4 parts of the pill every day. On the first day, consuming 3 by 4 parts of the tablet will save her 1/4 part. Similarly, on the second and third day, after taking 3/4 of the tablet, 1/4 part will be saved. If we add the remaining parts, we will get 3/4 of the pill, which Nisha can take on the fourth day. In this way, Nisha will be able to take 3 pills in 4 days. Thus, we can say that Nisha will be able to take 3 into 4 pills in 4 into 4 days, that is 12 pills in 16 days. So the answer to the given question is 16 days. Let's solve this mathematically. Nisha takes 3/4 pill in a day. The doctor has given 12 pills to Nisha. To know how many days Nisha will take to finish all the pills, we have to divide 12 by 3/4. To solve the division, we will keep the first number exactly the same and multiply it by the reciprocal of the second number. Here, the reciprocal of 3 by 4 is 4 by 3. We can solve this in the same way as 12 divided by 3/4 is equal to 16. So Nisha will be able to finish all the pills in 16 days. Next example. A plumber brings a pipe of 7.5 meters in length. He needs pipe parts measuring 1.5 meters in length. Find out how many parts of 1.5 meter length will he get from a pipe of 7.5 meters. This example shows that the total length of the pipe bought by the plumber is 7.5 meters. If he wants to make parts measuring 1.5 meters from this pipe, then he will get 7.5 divided by 1.5 parts. Let us find the result of this. Can you tell us how this division can be solved? Think about it. Let me tell you, if the division has mixed fractions, we have to first convert it into improper fractions. Here, the improper fractions of 7.5 will be 15 by 2 and the improper fractions of 1.5 will be 3 by 2. That is, 7.5 divided by 1.5 is equal to 15 by 2 divided by 3 by 2. To solve this, we will keep the first number exactly the same and multiply it by the reciprocal of the second number. Here, the reciprocal of 3 by 2 is 2 by 3. To solve this, we will first multiply the numerator and the resultant numerator will be 30. We will then multiply the denominators and the resultant denominator will be 6. Then we simplify it. Here, if we divide the numerator by the denominator, we get the simplest form as 5 by 1, that is 5. So we can say that the plumber will get 5 parts in total. Today, we have seen some examples related to division of fractions. In the next video, we will see some misconceptions and some common mistakes related to division of fractions. Today, we will see some misconceptions and common mistakes related to division of fractions. Misconception 1. Mother asked the children, what will be the result of dividing 4 by a half? Anurag said 2 and Rashi said 8. So who of the two gave the right answer? Many times, children understand that division by 1/2 means making the number half. Because of this, Anurag said that the result of 4 divided by half is 2. This is wrong. So option 1 is wrong. The correct understanding is that dividing 4 by 1/2 means that 4 is multiplied by the reciprocal of 1/2, and that is 2, which results in 8. This means that Rashi's understanding is correct. Many times, children are able to find the right answer 8, but in spite of that, they consider it wrong because they assume that the result of division can never be a larger number. This is also a misconception. Keep in mind, the result of division can be larger than the numbers that are divided. Misconception 2. If 7 equal parts of 1 by 21 meter cloth are made, what will be the length of each part? To find the length of each part, the total length has to be divided by the number of parts, that is, 1 by 21 has to be divided by 7. While dividing a fraction by a whole number, children often tend to divide the denominator. For example, here the result obtained while dividing 1 by 21 by 7 is 1 by 3. This is the wrong answer. Hence, option 1 is incorrect. The correct understanding is that we keep the first number exactly the same and multiply it by the reciprocal of the second number. That is, 1 by 21 divided by 7 is equal to 1 by 21 into 1 by 7, which is equal to 1 by 147. Therefore, the correct answer is option 2. Now let's look at some common mistakes. Let us suppose we have to find the result of 5 by 6 divided by 7 by 8. Some children believe that to find the result of division, the division sign has to be replaced by the multiplication sign, and then they inverse the numerator and the denominator of the second fraction. However, sometimes they do change the division sign by the multiplication sign, but forget to take the reciprocal of the other number and multiply the numbers as they are. If we multiply the numerators in this way, the resultant numerator will be 35 and the denominator will be 48, which is wrong. Some children take the reciprocal of the first number instead of taking the reciprocal of the second number. If they do this, they will once again get the wrong answer, 42 by 40. It is important to understand that we cannot change the first number. Take note that while dividing two fractions, we must keep the first number exactly the same and multiply it by the reciprocal of the second number. Today, we saw some misconceptions and common mistakes related to division of fractions.
Today we will learn multiplication of decimal numbers and whole numbers. Looking at the given figure, can you tell me the amount of juice present here? Think for a while. Let me tell you. Here 2 full glasses and 1 half glass is filled with juice, means here we have a total of 2.5 glasses of juice, which can be represented as 5 by 2. If we multiply both the numerator 5 and denominator 2 by 5, we will get this fraction whose denominator will be 10. If the denominator of a fraction is numbers like 10, 100, 1000, then we can represent it in its decimal form, in which whole number is represented on the left of the decimal point and part of the whole is represented on the right of the decimal point. Number represented with decimal point is called decimal number. We have learnt addition and subtraction of decimal numbers in previous classes. Now we will learn to multiply them. Consider 0.2 liters juice can be filled in a glass. If we need to know the amount of juice that can be filled in 4 glasses, then we need to multiply 0.2 and 4. Let's find the result of 4 multiplied by 0.2. Decimal number 0.2 can be represented in fraction as 2 by 10. This shows that if we consider 1 square as a unit, then 2 parts out of 10 equal parts are 2 by 10. Since 0.2, which is 2 by 10, is repeated 4 times, we will repeat these 2 parts for 4 times. From this, we get total 8 shaded parts out of 10. Hence, the total shaded part will be 8 by 10. We represent it in decimal form as 0.8. So we can say that 4 multiplied by 0.2 is equal to 0.8, means total 0.8 liters of juice can be filled in 4 glasses. Multiplication of decimal numbers can also be performed by converting them into fractions. If we have to find the value of 4 multiplied by 0.2, then we have to represent 0.2 in the form of 2 by 10. Then we will multiply whole number 4 and the numerator 2 to obtain the value of numerator as 8. And we will keep the denominator as it is. By doing so, we will get the answer 8 by 10, which can be represented as 0.8. There is one more interesting method to multiply fractions. In this method, we will write the numbers to be multiplied one below the other. Then, we will ignore the decimal point and multiply them the same way we multiply whole numbers. After finding the answer, we will count the number of digits after the decimal point in the given numbers to be multiplied. Since 4 is a whole number, there will be no digit after the decimal point. In point 2, there is one digit after the decimal point. That means there is only one digit after the decimal point in both the numbers. So, in the result, we will place decimal point by counting one digit from the right side. Since there is only one digit here, we will place decimal point before this. Since there is no whole number before the decimal point, we will place 0 before it. Therefore, we get the value of 4 multiplied by 0.2 as 0.8. Similarly, can you obtain the value of 2.005 multiplied by 6? Pause the video and try to solve this. First, we will write the given numbers one below the other. Then, we will multiply them the same way we multiply whole numbers. Now we can see that in the given numbers, the number of digits after the decimal point is 3 plus 0 is equal to 3. So, in the result, we will place decimal point by counting 3 digits from the right side. Therefore, the result obtained will be 12.030, or this can also be written as 12.03. Because adding or removing 0 after the last non-zero digit in a decimal number will not change the value of that number. If we multiply fractions with numbers like 10, 100, 1000, then we can see a pattern. Let's understand it. Let us suppose we need to multiply 2.3578 by 10. The answer will be 23.578. If we observe this, digits in the number to be multiplied, that is 2.3578, and the digits in the answer are the same. But the decimal points has shifted by 1 point to the right side. Similarly, if we multiply 2.3578 with 100, then also digits in the number to be multiplied, that is 2.3578, and the digits in answer are the same. But this time, the decimal point has shifted 2 places to the right side. Now can you obtain the value of 2.3578 multiplied by 1000 without carrying out multiplication? Think for a while. Absolutely correct. Here too, the digits will remain in the same place, but the decimal point will be shifted 3 places to the right side. What do you understand from this? Let me explain this. If any decimal number is multiplied with 10 or multiples of 10, like 100, 1000, 10,000, then the digits in the given number and the digits in the obtained answer will be the same. But the decimal point shifts as many places as there are number of zeros after 1. So, you must have understood the multiplication of a whole number and a decimal number. Today we have learnt multiplication of decimal numbers and whole numbers. In the next video, we will see multiplication of 2 decimal numbers. Today we will learn multiplication of decimal numbers. In the previous video, we have learned multiplication of a decimal number and a whole number. Now, we are going to learn multiplication of 2 decimal numbers. Suppose we need to find the value of 0.2 multiplied by 0.2. Will the answer be 0.4? Think for a while. Let me tell you. First number is 0.2, which can be expressed in fractions as 2 by 10. To represent this, we will consider a square as 1 unit and divide it horizontally into 10 equal parts. We will shade 2 parts in it. Similarly, the second number is 0.2, which means 2 by 10. To represent this, we will take one more square and divide it vertically into 10 equal parts and shade 2 parts of it. Therefore, 0.2 multiplied by 0.2 can be represented as 2 by 10 multiplied by 2 by 10. To find the value of 2 by 10 multiplied by 2 by 10, we will place the squares one above the other. By doing so, we will get a total of 100 equal parts. The value of 2 by 10 multiplied by 2 by 10 will be the common part of both squares. Can you tell me what will be the common part of these squares? Think for a while. Absolutely correct. Here, among both the squares, 4 out of 100 parts are common. This can be written in fraction form as 4 by 100 and in decimal form as 0.04. Because in the given figure, each small square is 1 by 100th part of the square, which is 0.01. Since 4 out of 100 parts are common, we can say that 4 by 100th part or 0.04 parts in total square is common. Therefore, we can say that 0.2 multiplied by 0.2 equals 0.04. Now you must have understood that 0.2 multiplied by 0.2 is not 0.4, but it is 0.04. In this way, we have obtained a method for multiplication of two decimal numbers where we represent the decimal numbers in the form of fractions and then multiply them and represent the answer in decimal form. That means 0.2 multiplied by 0.2 is equal to 0.04. Multiplication of two decimal numbers is similar to multiplication of whole numbers. In this method, we will place the given decimal numbers one below another. Here we ignore the decimal point and carry out their multiplication as that of whole numbers. We will obtain answer as 4. Then we will check the number of digits after the decimal point in the given numbers to be multiplied, which is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So, in the result, we will place decimal point counting 2 digits from the right side. Can you tell me where to place the decimal point here? Think for a while. Let me tell you. We have to keep the decimal point 2 digits from right, but there is no number to the left of 4. So, we will make use of placeholder 0 here. Then, we will place decimal point on the left side of this 0. Since there is no whole number here, so we will place 0 to the left side of the decimal point. Therefore, the answer obtained is 0.04. Try to solve 0.25 multiplied by 0.3 is equal to. Today we have learnt multiplication of decimal numbers. In the next video, we will see examples related to the same. Today we will see examples of multiplication of decimal numbers. Harish has purchased 100 chocolates from the shopkeeper. If the cost of one chocolate is rupees 2.50, then find the amount of money he has to pay the shopkeeper. Since Harish has purchased 100 chocolates and the cost of each chocolate is rupees 2.50, in order to find the total amount of money, we have to multiply the number of chocolates with the cost of each chocolate. That means we have to multiply 100 and 2.50. So, let's find the product of 100 and 2.50. Can you tell me how to find this product? Think for a while. Let me explain this. In 2.50, 0 is a placeholder. Since this digit 0 is at the end of the number, we can remove it. After removing 0, multiplication becomes 100 multiplied by 2.5. Now we need to find the answer to this. 2.5 can be written in fraction form as 25 by 10. So we can write the multiplication as 100 multiplied by 25 by 10. Here, a fraction is getting multiplied with a whole number. In order to obtain the answer, we will multiply the whole number with the numerator of fraction and then divide the result with denominator. Therefore, the answer obtained is 250. If we carefully look at 100 multiplied by 2.50 is equal to 250, then we can find that the number of digits in the answer and given decimal number are the same. But the decimal point has shifted 2 places towards the right. Thus, we can say that if any decimal number is multiplied by 100, then the decimal point is shifted 2 places to the right to obtain the answer. That means Harish has to pay rupees 250 to the shopkeeper. Example 2. If the price of petrol is rupees 79.06 per litre, then find the amount to be paid for 3.4 litres of petrol. Since the price of petrol is rupees 79.06 per litre and we need to find the cost of 3.4 litres, we have to multiply rupees 79.06 with 3.4. Since multiplication is commutative, that means it can be performed in any order, we can write this multiplication as rupees 79.06 multiplied by 3.4 as this will simplify the process. To find the product, first we will ignore the decimal points of 79.06 and 3.4 and we will perform multiplication similar to whole numbers. That means we will find the product of 7,906 and 34. This multiplication can be done in the following way. The answer will be 2,68,804. Now we can see that in 79.06 and 3.4, to the right side of the decimal point, there are a total of 1 plus 2 is equal to 3 digits. So we will place the decimal point in the answer, leaving 3 digits from the right side. This will give us the correct answer as 268.804. Thus, rupees 79.06 multiplied by 3.4 is equal to rupees 268.804. Therefore, for 3.4 litres of petrol, rupees 268.804 needs to be paid. Next example, find the value of 0.04 multiplied by 0.07. Let's solve this by converting it into fractions. 0.04 is equal to 4 by 100 and 0.07 is equal to 7 by 100. 0.04 multiplied by 0.07 is equal to 4 by 100 multiplied by 7 by 100 is equal to 4 multiplied by 7 by 100 multiplied by 100 is equal to 28 by 10,000. Now think, where should we place the decimal point? Think for a while. Let me explain this. In 10,000, there are total 4 digits after 1. So we will place the decimal point in the numerator, counting 4 places from the right. Since 2 places are empty here, we will keep placeholder 0 at these places. Similarly, since the units place is also empty, so we will place 0 here too. Today we have seen examples on multiplication of decimal numbers. In the next video, we will clear some misconceptions related to the same. Today we will see misconceptions and common mistakes related to multiplication of decimal numbers. Misconception 1. A milkman has sold 11.5 litres of milk at the rate of rupees 55.5 per litre. Find the amount of money earned by the milkman. A milkman has sold 11.5 litres of milk at the rate of rupees 55.5 per litre. To find the money earned by him, we have to find the value of 11.5 multiplied by 55.5. To obtain the answer, first we will ignore their decimal points and multiply them. By doing so, we will get the answer as 63,825. Now we can see that 11.5 has 1 digit to the right side of the decimal point and 55.5 has 1 digit to the right side of the decimal point. That means the numbers getting multiplied have total 2 digits to the right of the decimal point. Therefore, in the answer we will place the decimal point leaving 2 digits from the right. Thus, we get the correct answer as 638.25, which means option 1 is correct. While placing the decimal point, some students count the places from the left and not from the right. Therefore, they will get rupees 63.825 as answer, which is incorrect answer for 11.5 multiplied by 55.5. Hence, option 2 is an incorrect answer. Some students think that in order to find multiplication of decimal numbers, the whole number part and part of the whole are multiplied separately. In order to solve 11.5 multiplied by 55.5, 11 and 55 are multiplied separately and 0.5 and 0.5 are multiplied separately. The product of whole number part is 565 and the product of part of the whole number is 0.25. And now, both are combined together to obtain the answer as 565.25. This is also a misconception. Therefore, incorrect answer option 3 is chosen. Remember that this is the wrong way of performing multiplication. Misconception 2. One day, teacher had asked a question to his students. Is the product of two numbers always a greater number? To this, Amit replied yes and Nisha replied no. Who of the two is correct? Many times, students have a misconception that the product of two numbers is always a greater number. If they are asked to verify this, then they give example of multiplication of two whole numbers like 7 multiplied by 10 is equal to 70, 10 multiplied by 10 is equal to 100 and 5 multiplied by 7 is equal to 35, etc. And they explain that the product of two numbers is greater than those numbers. But this is a misconception. Product of whole numbers is definitely a greater number. But is the product of decimal number also a greater number? Think for a while. You must have understood that the product of decimal numbers is not always a greater number. For example, 0.2 multiplied by 0.4 is equal to 0.08, which is a smaller number. So, the correct understanding is that the product of two numbers is not always a greater number. Here are some examples from which you can understand that the product of two decimal numbers can be either a greater number or a smaller number. For example, 1.2 multiplied by 2.4 is equal to 2.88. Here, 2.88 is greater than both numbers. 0.12 multiplied by 2.4 is equal to 0.288. Here, 0.288 is greater than 0.12 but smaller than 2.4. 0.12 multiplied by 0.24 is equal to 0.0288. Here, 0.0288 is smaller than both numbers. These misconceptions are often accompanied by a common mistake. The decimal point is copied down while doing addition or subtraction of decimal numbers. The same is done in multiplication also, where decimal point is copied down. That means students do not count the decimal places. Incorrect answer is obtained by doing so. The correct understanding is that we have to count the number of digits present after the decimal points in both the numbers getting multiplied. Then the total number of digits after the decimal point in both numbers are counted. Then we count that many digits in the result from the right and place the decimal point. Today we have seen misconceptions and common mistakes related to multiplication of decimal numbers.
Today, we will learn division of decimal numbers. Manisha bought 3 identical handkerchiefs from a shop. To decorate them, she attached laces around them. If she used 4.26 meter long laces to decorate all 3 handkerchiefs, how much lace would she have used for each handkerchief? To find this, we have to divide 4.26 by 3. Here, we have to divide the decimal number by a whole number. Let's solve it. If we consider a square as a unit, then the first number, 4.26, tells us how many squares we have to shade, and the second number, 3, tells us in how many equal parts we have to divide the shaded parts. To denote 4.26, we will shade 4 full squares and 2/10 and 6/100 of one square. Now let's divide 4.26 into 3 equal parts. Can you tell how we will divide 4 units into 3 equal parts? Think a little. Let me tell you. We can put 1 unit in each part. On doing so, we will be left with 1 unit. To divide this, we have to divide it into decimal parts. Now here, there are a total of 10 plus 2, which is 12 tenths parts. After dividing them into 3 equal parts, each part will have 4 tenths. We will also divide the remaining 6/100 into 3 equal parts. This will give 2/100 in each part. Now you can see that each part has 1 unit, 4 tenths and 2/100, so each part will be 1.42. We can say that 4.26 divided by 3 equals 1.42, which means Manisha must have used 1.42 meters lace for each handkerchief. To divide decimal numbers in mathematics, we can first express them as fractions. Like here, we have to write 4.26 as 426 by 100. Then we divide them. To divide fractions, we keep the number that is divided as it is and multiply it by the reciprocal of the second number. In this way, we get 1.42. Now suppose she had used 4.27 meter lace for all 3 handkerchiefs. Then how much lace would she need for each handkerchief? Let's find out. For this, we will divide 4.27 by 3. 4.27 divided by 3 is equal to 427 by 100 divided by 3 by 1, which is equal to 427 by 3 into 100, which is equal to 427 by 3 into 1 by 100. Now let's divide 427 by 3. On dividing, we will get the quotient 142, but the remainder is not 0. In this case, we put the decimal point to the right of the number being divided and then take 0. You must be aware that taking 0 in this way does not change the value of the number. We will place this 0 at the bottom right of the remainder, which will make the number 10. Since we are dividing the digits after the decimal, we will now place the decimal point to the right of the last digit in the quotient. Now we see that multiplying 3 by 3 gives us the nearest value of 10, but a smaller number 9. So, we will write 3 to the right of the decimal point in the quotient and subtract 9 from the remaining 10. Now again we get the remainder 1. Again, we will add 0 to the number. Again the remainder will be 10 and again we repeat the division. Similarly, if we continue to divide, we will get 142.333 in the quotient. Thus, the number will never end. Therefore, we limit the number to as many digits as required. Like here, we will take only till 142.3. So now we can write 4.27 divided by 3 as 142.3 into 1 by 100. We can write this as 142.3 by 100. To divide it by 100, we move the decimal point 2 places to the left. This will result in 1.423. Now let's understand how to divide one decimal number by another decimal number. A person covers a distance of 7.2 kilometers. If he takes 1.2 hours to cover such a distance, then how much distance will he be able to cover per hour? To find out the answer, we have to divide 7.2 kilometers by 1.2 hours. As you can see, here we are dividing one decimal number by another decimal number. Let's obtain the quotient of 7.2 divided by 1.2. 7.2 divided by 1.2. This division means how many groups of 1.2 can be formed out of 7.2. So let us denote the number to be divided first. We will do it in this manner. Let us make a group out of 1.2, that is 1 unit and 2 tenths. Similarly, we can make 6 groups of 1.2 from 7.2. Therefore, we can say that 7.2 divided by 1.2 is 6. One way to obtain the quotient is to write the decimal numbers to be divided as fractions. 7.2 can be written as 72 by 10 and 1.2 can be written as 12 by 10. 72 by 10 divided by 12 by 10. Can you tell us how we will divide this fraction? Think a little. Absolutely correct. We will keep the first number exactly the same and multiply it by the second number's reciprocal. 72 by 10 into 10 by 12. Now 10 in the numerator and 10 in the denominator can be cancelled by division, and we will get 72 by 12 results in 6. Therefore, the person covers a distance of 6 kilometers per hour. Another way to do this easily is to write 7.2 and 1.2 one below the other as numerator and denominator. Now, we will try to make the denominator a whole number. For this, we can multiply the denominator by 10. To keep the values same, we will also have to multiply the numerator by 10. Multiplying 1.2 by 10 will move the decimal point one place to the right. Since there are no digits after the decimal point, we can ignore it. Similarly, we get the number in the numerator as 72. Now, we divide 72 by 12 to get 6. Now let us see an interesting method of dividing decimal numbers by numbers like 10, 100 and 1000. Here, the results are expressed by dividing the decimal number 3316.4 by 10, 100, 1000 and 10,000. The funny thing is that the number to be divided and the number in the result are the same. If you look carefully, you will find that as many zeros are there in 10, the decimal point will move that many places to the left. As 10 has 1 0, so the decimal point moves one place to the left. 100 has 2 zeros, so the decimal point has moved 2 places to the left. Similarly, in 1000, there are 3 zeros, so the decimal point is 3 places to the left. By advancing the sequence, we can see that after dividing by 10,000, the decimal point has moved 4 places to the left. What does this tell you? Think a little. Let me tell you, when a decimal number is divided by 10 or a multiple of 10 such as 100, 1000, 10,000, then the digits of the result and the decimal number remain the same, but the decimal point moves to the left as many times as the number of zeros with 1. So today, we have learned division of decimal numbers. We will understand it better with the help of some examples in the next video. Today, we will see some examples of division of decimal numbers. Manish painted the walls of his house. He required 7.92 liters of paint to paint 4 identical walls. If he used an equal amount of paint for all the walls, then find the amount of paint he used for each wall. The example shows that Manish painted 4 walls, for which he required a total of 7.92 liters of paint. To find out how much paint was used to paint one wall, we have to divide 7.92 by 4. We can write 7.92 in the form 792 by 100. So the division will become 792 upon 100 divided by 4. To find the result of division, we will write the first number 792 by 100 as it is and multiply it by the reciprocal of the second number 4, that is 1 by 4. 792 by 100 into 1 by 4 is equal to 792 into 1 by 100 into 4. We can write this as 1 into 792 by 100 into 4. Can you tell us why we can write 792 into 1 is equal to 1 into 792? Think a little. Because the order of multiplication of two numbers is commutative, which means it can be done in any order. 1 into 792 by 100 into 4 can also be written as 1 by 100 into 792 by 4. Dividing 792 by 4 will give the result 198, and 1 by 100 into 198 is equal to 1.98. So we can say that Manish used 1.98 liters of paint to paint one wall. Next example. A plane covers a distance of 3076.48 kilometers in 2.3 hours. Find out how many kilometers does it travel per hour. The example shows that the aircraft covers a distance of 3076.48 kilometers in 2.3 hours duration. If we have to find out how many kilometers it travels per hour, then for this, we have to divide 3076.48 by 2.3. So let's find the result. We will look at another method of dividing two decimal numbers. First, we write this division as 3076.48 by 2.3. Then, we will convert the denominator into a whole number. Just think of how you can do this. Let me tell you, if we multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 10, the numerator and denominator will remain the same, but the decimal point will move one place to the right. There is a decimal point after 23 and there are no digits after this. We can say that now there is a whole part of decimal number, so we can ignore the decimal point. In summary, we can say that if the decimal point of the numerator and the denominator is moved one place to the right, then we get a whole number in the place of the denominator. Now we can divide 30,764.8 by 23. Let us solve this using long division method. Here, 30,764.8 is the dividend and 23 is the divisor. To divide, we first check whether the whole part of the dividend is smaller or larger than the divisor. Here, 30,764 is greater than 23, so we can divide it. By dividing the whole part, we now get the whole part of the quotient, 1,337, and the remainder as 13. Now the next digit is 8, which is after the decimal point. Therefore, we will place the decimal point after the whole part of the quotient and take 8 down. This now makes the number 138. Now we divide 138 by 23. By multiplying 23 into 6, we get 138. So, we will write 6 after the decimal point in the quotient and subtract 138 from 138 to get 0. The quotient we get is 1337.6. Thus, the aeroplane travels 1337.6 kilometers per hour. So today, We have seen examples of division of decimal numbers. In the next video, we will dispel certain misconceptions related to them. Today, we will see misconceptions related to division of decimal numbers. Misconception 1. Harshita is making a wall hanging. She has taken a 6.6 meter long ribbon and she wants to make 330 parts of it. What would be the length of each piece? While dividing, students often have this misconception that larger numbers should be divided by smaller numbers. So they divide 330 by 6.6. This gives them the result 50, which is the wrong answer. Hence, option 1 is incorrect. Here, Harshita has divided 6.6 meters into 330 parts. So the length of each part will be obtained from 6.6 divided by 330. We can do this division as follows. Pause the video and try to understand. 6.6 divided by 330 will give you 0.02. Therefore, the length of each piece will be 0.02 meter. Misconception 2. Roshan and Mohan were discussing the concept of division. Roshan said that the result of division is always a small number, while Mohan said that the result of division can be a large number as well. So tell us who is right. Some students have this misconception that the result of multiplication is always a large number. Similarly, they also have the misconception that the result of division is always a small number. Let's resolve this misconception. If we divide 6 by 2, we get the result 3. But if we divide 6 by 0.2, we get the result 30. So, we can say that the result of division cannot always be a small number. This means Roshan's thinking is wrong. So, option 1 is the wrong answer. Since Mohan understood correctly that the result of division can also be a large number, Mohan's understanding is correct. Hence, option 2 is correct. So today, we looked at some misconceptions related to the division of decimal numbers.